Hi, I'm Judy Eichhorst, high performance coach. I help the motivated, eager, and driven people just like you discover, spark, and actify more clarity, energy, courage, productivity, and influence so that they come alive and excel in both their personal and professional lives. Today is Tuesday, and I'm here today to give you just some four tips on how to overcome those times when you say, I just don't feel like it. Have you ever set a goal and you realize that in order to get to that goal, there are certain action steps you need to take, and within those action steps is really a lot of daily habits that have to change? If it's a goal towards running a certain race, then there's the daily habit of a certain amount of exercise every single day. There might be a different eating plan, which means a different routine with your eating. If in fact your goal is like finances, to save a certain amount of money for vacation, then there are changes within your daily spending habits that you need to do. And each one of these goals is a change in a lot of daily habits. Well, I don't know if you're the same way, but for me, I can get really excited when I set a new goal. And I'm also really excited when I figure out how to reach the goal. I can map it out. I can put it on my calendar, and I can see that if I do these specific things for this amount of time on a consistent basis, that I'm going to get to that goal. It's just a matter of doing the steps, changing the habits, and getting there. It looks so easy. And yet, have you found that it's not so easy? Because what tends to happen with a lot of us, and maybe you too, is that 3, 4, 5 days in, for some reason, it feels like we lost the motivation to do it. We've lost the excitement. We just don't want to do the daily habits on that day, or maybe at all. But really, at that particular moment, you just don't feel like it. Here are 4 things that you can try. Number 1, remember the bigger intention. 2, approach this whole thing over the long term. Think long term. 3rd, visualize your outcome. And 4th, you're going to beat your mind. So let's talk about that first one, about remembering the bigger intention. It's always good to know what is that really big why behind the reason for the goal. So it is the big reason for the goal. Yes, you want to run the race, or yes, you want to pass the test, or yes, you want to have so much savings in the bank, but there's a reason that you set this goal. And I want you to really dig down deep and know what that reason is, and then call it to mind when you have those moments when you don't feel like it. Is it for better health? Is it because you want more joy in your life? Is it because you want to prove to yourself that you can do this certain thing? Is it that there's a really special occasion that you want to feel your absolute best at? What is the bigger why? Always remember to call that to mind. Maybe it's for freedom. Maybe it's for the joy. Keep that one in mind, and it's easier then to pick yourself up and have yourself do that daily habit the day you don't feel like it. Let's talk about number 2. Think about the long term. Now, often when we set up daily habits and we say to ourselves, I'm going to, for instance, eat clean every single day, every single meal, and then I don't. I have a day where I don't, and I can so easily say, oh, I failed. I have to start over. You use those words, start over. Now, there's nothing wrong with starting over. Isn't it wonderful that we can start over as many times as we want? But sometimes, to sort of beat that mind, another way to look at it is the accumulation and setting milestones for the accumulation of something that you do over and over and over again, and set some milestone rewards for yourself along the way. So let's say that in my instance, I set a goal of going to yoga 4 times a week. And let's say that I only get there 3 times this week, or only twice, or let's say I don't get there at all. Then let's say that I had been doing well for 2 or 3 weeks in a row. Do I just say I have to start over at 1? No, don't make yourself start over. Count, accumulate them. How many days of clean eating do you have? How many dollars are in the bank account for savings? How many workouts have you done to date? Set a reward. When you get 10, give yourself a reward. When you get to 20, give yourself a reward. When you get to 50, set up those rewards as a part of the whole goal. And that way you never start over. You just want to get to the next one. If I have 9 workouts in, I just want to get to 10. I don't have to start over. If I go today, I reach my goal of 10 for that first milestone, and I give myself the reward. Third one is to visualize the outcome. What is it that you're trying to do in the first place? Now, for me in yoga, it might be that I want to touch my nose to my knee. Seriously, that could be what I want. I want that feeling of, I used to be able to do that long ago. I want that amount of flexibility. I'm just going to feel what that feels like when my nose finally touches my knee, when I can lay down on my knee and lay out flat because my flexibility has gotten that good. Or maybe yours is that race that you're going to run and you want to just feel what it's going to be like. Or maybe you're looking for a partner in life, and so maybe you're doing some online dating or something like that in order to reach that goal. So maybe you could picture what it's going to be like when you meet that person. Not just picture it. Close your eyes and feel it. Feel what it's like to pass the test. Feel what it's like to get that certification. Feel what it's like to come across the finish line. Feel what it's like to have a wedding. Feel what it's like to be on that vacation, that dream vacation that you want to save for, or your first home. Actually feel it. When we actually take the time to feel the emotion, it makes it actually easier to give us that motivation to do those things that it takes to get it done in order to reach your goal. Now, the fourth one is to beat your mind. Now, all of these tips are to help beat your mind, because that's what's at odds here when you just don't feel like it. Now, I'm not talking about those times when you don't feel like it because you're ill. I'm not talking about those times when you had an interruption or your car has a flat tire. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about merely not feeling like it. The other day, it was time to go to yoga. It'd been on the calendar. There was nothing standing in my way of going to yoga but this. That's it. Nothing. I had no excuse. None whatsoever. I just didn't feel like it. And I realized at that moment, because I've become so curious about mindset, especially my own mindset, to say, wow, what a block. What an obstacle, merely having that I don't feel like it. How powerful that is with me. And how powerful is it with you to keep you from doing something that you so want to do because you have an intention of a much bigger goal. So the next time you have a daily habit that you just don't feel like doing, I want you to pull these 4 tools out, because what you start today, you're going to be thrilled about a year from now. A year from now, you're going to say, I'm glad I started today. I'm glad I learned some ways to push my way through not feeling like it. So let's look at those 4 again. Remember your bigger intention. Strive by looking for the long haul with those accumulations of daily habits and giving yourselves rewards along the way. 3, visualize and feel that outcome. And then the 4th, you beat your mind. Now go out, have a fantastic week, and be blessed. See you next week. Bye-bye.